about that.
I miss it in this hotel. They didn't know I lived here, but I did, in the kitchen. I slept under the potatoes. Yes, I was just reminiscing a bit about when I lived here. When I first lived in Washington, D.C., I had a girlfriend who lived in McLean, Virginia, which is nearby. And I came down to visit her, and her mother wasn't too keen on that. And she made me sleep in the neighbor's basement. And then I took a year off from school, and I lived here for a while in that year off. And I was sleeping in the neighbor's basement, which I didn't like very much. And whenever I would try to go visit my girlfriend, I was not welcome, and I was watched by my girlfriend's mother. So it was very uncomfortable, and I decided, you know what, screw this, I'm going to get out of here. And so I moved into a boarding house in Fairfax, nearby. And so I lived with a bunch of Vietnam vets. We all shared a bathroom and a kitchen, and there were lots of cockroaches, but it was so much more homey than the basement that I lived in, which was nice. I also, when I was here, I lived here a couple of times. I interned at the White House, which was very exciting. Not for me, but for the president. And that was fun. It was interesting. I was not a great intern. They wanted me to do computer work, and I was like, guys, this is not where my skills lie. I'm more of a leader, you know. So if you got some issues with the country or something, but they were like, well, yeah, we'll get to that, but can you reply to this mail first? So I was a terrible intern at the White House. Excuse me? Shame on whoever said that. We had, at the time, security was very tight, and we had these passes that we got, these little badges that you got every day when you came into the White House, that permitted you to roam about and says that you were, an official in the White House. And every day at lunch, they had a little, when you walked back out through the metal detectors, they had this little slot, you drop your pass in, and I would pretend to drop my pass in the slot and then keep it as a memento. And so I had this mobile in my room of hundreds of these White House badges. Now, if any of you work, for the Secret Service or anything, this is all a joke. I had all of these things, which had all this fine print on the back, which one day I finally read, and it was like, $100,000 fine and mandatory 10 years in jail if you're caught with one of these off the White House grounds. I was like, well, whatever. And I kept the mobile up. And I still have a bunch of those passes if anyone wants them. I'm not sure they still use the same technology, like laminated with one of those little chains. You want one? One taker. I also have White House letterhead, quite a big stack of it, and some pens.
You're the office thief.
Office thief, yes. I also have applications for jobs, because I was in the department where they were sending in like applications for I want to be Secretary of State or whatever, and they send in a letter, resume, and soft-focused, glossy photos of themselves. The weirdest applications. I was like, I've got to take this home. A small collection of those as well. If you're applying for a job, just a little aside, a little tip. Don't say that you're qualified because God spoke to you in the bathroom of the Mayflower Hotel. Because it doesn't get pushed up the ladder that quickly when you say that. Okay, I'm going to turn it back to you. Hi.
I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite moment for Kaz in season 9? Like, what did you think was the best moment he had, like, to just show his character? Or
I don't know what that says about me, but I thought that the triumphant moment for my character was when he was operating the cash register. That for me was the height. I think it peaked there. What was your favorite moment?
It's like a tie, but it's also from that episode he reacted to becoming human, because we didn't see him talk to Dean or Sam about that on screen, like what was that, becoming human, and it was just some kind of way to see how he reacted to that.
I feel like it was a missed opportunity not to have Cass changing diapers, though. Just covered in baby feces. Could have been great.
Did you ask if you could do that?
I did ask.
If there could have been some more baby
Yeah. Sometimes I just go into the writer's room covered in feces just to... Hey guys, I know you can't really imagine stuff that well, so I'm showing you what it would look like. What do you think? They love me down there. Hi.
It's actually a bit of a play on that. We see Cass as, human and mostly human, and God, and Meg's as an angel. What do you want next for Cass? And then my favorite go-to question is also, if Cass had to go out, how would you like that to happen? What would be your perfect way to happen?
You tried to kill my character. That's a good question. I think it'd be cool to revive Jimmy.
Alive in there, considering you were...
I can't remember where we left. Don't ask me that fucking question. We go back and forth. People, what do you think? What do you think? Is he still in there?
I don't think so. I think because you technically...
You're wrong. I'm glad we had this talk then, because it clarified. You were the decider. Yeah, but then we had another conversation with some other people. It got complicated. So, yes, he is. I think by unanimous consensus, Cass, Jimmy's doing great. Thank you. Hi.
So I suffer.
I understand, by the way, that Sebastian answered 2 questions. Three, but 2 of them were his own. So how does that work? I've actually never watched his panel. How do you... Oh, like dancing, singing.
What is this? I totally missed something. Sebastian.
He sang about a girl?
Yeah. He only answered 3 times.
Savannah.
Oh, he did? He only answered 3 questions all the
Hi,
time?
Savannah. How are you? So he sang about you. He stroked you a little bit. I'm sorry to say that I'm not surprised. I was in the green room with him alone just now, and I kept having to inch away. I get it. I know what you've been through.
Are
Did
you
he touch me?
pregnant too?
What?
Are you pregnant too?
Are you pregnant? You rubbed your shoulder.
A lot.
I've often said about Sebastian, he has a very strange penis, so... Oh, I know.
Oh my God.
When he's drunk, is he worse? You mean better by worse? Is he like that? She's like asking this incredulously. I mean, she's not really like that, is she? Without answering your question directly, let me say. So really though, but it's possible to go only 3 questions. Impressive. And you guys love that, evidently. Wow, what more reason do I need than that? Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Sing to you. Does anyone have a question? Does anyone have a question here that's not in line?
Misha!
My favorite item from Dish Wish last year was you always wanted to do something as a child that you never got to do. If you were doing it, what would yours be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was just talking about this yesterday. Like, it would be fun to do dishes. That looks like a lot of fun to me.
We've done a lot of our house. So if you want to do some dishes.
Dishes? No, not dishes. You know, this is why I don't come down here with you. I've often thought, what would it be like? What would it be like to do dishes? No, you may not. That's a great question. So a child, what was the item?
If there was something you always wanted to do as a child, but you never got to do it.
Okay.
Do it.
What would be the thing that I never got to do as a child that I always wanted to do?
Banana.
Sebastian, you do an uncanny American accent. Sebastian just banana. I'm just going to see what the people act like, because I've never... Hey, the phone hasn't even worked.
I'll get your answer.
You're never going to answer that question, are you?
No, I'm thinking about your question. Actually, I don't have a really good answer for it. I'm sure that there's something that I wanted to do as a child that I never did. I don't know. What's popping into my head is weird, and I don't want to talk about it.
Do it!
I used to think a lot, like, in the grand scheme of things, entire continents have come and gone. Vast stretches of territory have been wiped out by volcanoes or comets hitting the Earth. So, what harm is a little forest fire? So as a kid, I used to think about, I could just start a little fire.
Oh my God!
And just watch it go. I no longer, by the way, seriously entertain that fantasy. It's just a passing kind of thing.
Get it out of your system.
In a manner of speaking, actually. She asks how much in terms of acreage. The answer is 10. When I was a bit of a pyro in my youth. We had a lot of fun burning things. We learned that those of you who are children, plug your ears. If you take a can of spray paint or a lot of aerosols and light a match in front of it, it will create a flamethrower. If you put said flamethrower on, say, a vinyl screen in your house, it will catch fire. There were lots of kids in the neighborhood that I was banned from spending time at their house. Because I was also a fireworks smuggler when I was 10. I would go to New Hampshire, buy fireworks, and then sell them to the other kids. I hitchhiked to New Hampshire. We had a bunch of, we were clearing brush, and we made brush piles. And then I poured gasoline on the brush piles to help, burn the brush, which is a normal thing to do when you're in rural western Massachusetts. What is not normal is the amount of gasoline that I put on the brush. So yes, we did lose 10 acres. Not our 10 acres, someone else's. But, you know, that's in the past. So, hi.
Hi. I don't have a question so much as a request.
Okay, thank you.
This is actually going to require audience cooperation here. So what I would like you to do, if you could look straight out at the audience and say, "We have a gift for that."
Yes.
I have no idea what I'm walking into. We have a gift for that. I understand what you're talking about. Not a gift. We have a gift for that. What just happened? Can you hide?
You're literally destroying the internet. Coupler's voice is trash.
Not up. Step up to the microphone, not carry the microphone away. Okay, what just happened? What was that? Now, what is that? What did I just do? That is a gift. That will be a gift. I would have fixed my hair first. Damn it. All right, so what are you doing? What's going on? Where are you from?
I came from Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia. Wow. You guys have a lot of exciting gun laws, right? You can have guns in schools and hospitals and schools, playgrounds.
Not in universities.
Not in universities? Well, I think you should do something about that. If I understand correctly, pretty much the only other place that guns are banned are in the legislature, which I find kind of interesting. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, well, I suffer from a lot of anxiety. So, like,
How is this for you, this experience?
This is probably the first time I've done this. I'm shaking.
Really?
Yeah.
You're doing great. What makes you anxious?
People, crowds.
Talking in front of crowds?
Yeah.
But this is fine, right? Okay.
I was just wondering how you stay like so chipper and open. And
Chipper? Oh, that's so cute. All week at home it's been, you're such a grouch. To me, I've been a grouch all week. But it's nice to know that there's another world where I don't come across that way. Grouchy Misha is like, I just kind of zoned out. I don't really, pay attention to anyone around me or phone it in. I've been a tiny bit burnt out lately, but but thank you for saying that about me. You know what's interesting, now that you bring this up? When I first got a call to go to a convention, I was like, I'm sorry, you have to do what? Go up on stage and talk in front of a bunch of people? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. That sounds terrible. I was absolutely mortified. That's embarrassing. I wasn't mortified. I was just terrified. What? Horrified. So I felt a lot of anxiety about that. And then when I got up on stage, I realized that it's not so scary after all. Are you experiencing that right now, or the opposite?
still kind of just shaking.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. Everybody has their bad days?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, that's true. And I think that anxiety is normal and that everybody probably experiences it in some way or another. You are part of a majority here, in some way or another. I certainly experience anxiety. I get up here and I do a little tap dance, and for me it's easy to relax because I just think about Sebastian. This is a little device that I use, but no, I get anxious. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know what to say.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So for me, I thought that Mother's Little Helper was the best looking episode.
Thank you. That's very charitable.
And I'm wondering if you drew any aesthetic inspiration from past episodes, and if so, which one?
I actually did. For some reason, I went back to. Not for some reason, I sort of asked around, like, what are your favorite episodes of crew members? And they were like, well, I liked Appointment in Samara and something by the lake. Kim Manners' old episodes. A lot of Kim Manners' old episodes. I actually, when I was kind of toward the end breaking down episodes, trying to see what they did and how they worked, I was looking at a lot of season 1 and 2 episodes, older, kind of maybe lower episodes of Supernatural. So that's what I was looking at. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. What's up, Nikki?
What was your favorite part about visiting the ACFFC?
Oh, the ACFFC. Nicole and I went to Haiti together. Haiti is a small country to the south, and we, Random Acts paid for the construction of an orphanage and community center that was down there, and we were there 3 times. The first time we were there, we were just clearing the rocks and debris from this empty lot, and the last time we went there, there was this completely finished 12,000 square foot beautiful building, and it was absolutely amazing to me. Up until the time that we got there the last time, the whole thing was an abstraction to me. Like, I knew we were doing this project, and I had seen some progress, but it still seemed like kind of a pipe dream, and I didn't really quite believe that it was going to come together. And then when we walked in there and saw this thing, it was so much bigger and more well-constructed than I ever imagined it would be. It was really an emotional moment. That was lovely. Yeah. When I don't know what to say. It was really compelling to me. I mean, when I think about at a future time, not being on Supernatural anymore, one of the if that were ever to happen, that's one of the things that I like, opportunity to be involved in that kind of stuff. So Sebastian, it's an uncanny American accent. Yeah, I don't know, like proud, grateful, just overwhelmed, emotional. But big thank you to everybody who helped make that happen. Hi. Okay, great. You just keep telling yourself. We'll be the judge of how okay this goes.
So, there's an introduction to the question, so pay attention.
Okay. Now I feel like I'm going to get a quiz.
Okay.
Do you have one with Richard?
Yeah, 16. Roles that are just truly good. They're so kind-hearted and selfless, and they do so much.
I don't know. Yeah, tell me about these people.
Okay, well, I feel that in my belief that they are truly angels on earth, and for me, you and Vicky are 2 of those angels. And I'm not just saying that because you're on TV. I really do mean that. And you are all so inspirational in so many ways, and I know I'm not the only person here who feels that way.
That is very, very sweet of you to say. I don't know what to say, but thank you. That's very sweet. I'm blushing, so leave me alone.
My question is, what is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration? Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I would say probably a combination of different things. Probably mostly my mom and my wife. And Lucifer, obviously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Is this working? Hi. First, I just want to say to the person who was up here before about anxiety that I love talking in front of people, but I'm like so anxious and scared to death right now. So. Normal.
Nice.
Secondly, my friends and I were listening to the song Massachusetts by Gilvis earlier, and it occurred to me that you are a Massachusetts native, and so...
We like to call ourselves massholes.
So as a masshole, I was wondering, is the song accurate, and how do you all feel about it?
I don't know the song, so it's difficult for me to weigh in, but allow me to. I have no idea. What does the song say about it?
Essentially, it mentions various places in Massachusetts, Pangryville. I don't know. I can sing the song by heart, but it's like the first chorus is Massachusetts, the 14th biggest state, Massachusetts, just 4 hours from New York.
I mean, that's kind of impressive.
And then there's other stuff, like, who has never seen a hunk on the bus and said, I want to sit on your lap? And just because you're kissing a man doesn't make you gay.
Right, Dean?
You should look up the song, it's great.
It sounds great. It sounds great. It sounds really good. Have I ever told, I probably have, my bus story? My bus story?
I don't know.
I'm not hearing a lot of yeses.
Tell it.
And now I'm realizing I've never told it because it's not a good story. Speaking of Massachusetts, me and my younger brother, we grew up in Massachusetts. And my parents split up when I was 3. My mom moved across the state, so it's 100 miles away from my dad, and we would, every other weekend, we would go visit him on the bus. We would take the Englander bus line to go visit my dad. And it was a long bus ride, it was like 3 hours. And we started doing this when I was 7, and he was 5. And we would get bored. And I would torture him. I would, for instance, find a toothpaste that had fallen out of someone's bag and rub it all over him. Until he would start screaming. And he had this incredible defense mechanism, which was a scream that was so shrill and so deafening that anyone within earshot had to drop what they were doing to try to get to him and shut him up. And he knew that. This was his defense. He was little, I was big, and he would start screaming. He'd claw me. I can't believe I have forgotten this for 15 or 20 years. He grew his fingernails long, so he could claw me. I was horrible to him. I abused him, but he would defend himself in these ways. And so every time we got on the bus, at some point, the bus driver would have to pull off to the side, come to the back of the bus, and separate us and make us, sit near him where he could keep an eye on us. So the Englander bus lines implemented a new rule. No 2 children under the age of 12 could travel alone together. Which we got around by buying 1 adult and 1 child fare, and we continued to travel on the bus. Some bus drivers wouldn't let us on the bus, period. My mom would have to drive us across state. And as we got older, on the return trip, my dad would give us the money for the bus. We'd be like, Dad, we'll take the train and the bus. You relax. And then we'd just go down to the 90 Interstate I-90. I'm speaking in California where we say, matter of fact, California where we say the 90, but we don't say the 90. And we'd hitchhike home, and we'd pocket the money. We started doing that when I was like 11 and he was 9. Anyway, seriously though, hot tip. I, as an adult, I have tried to hitchhike a few times. I've had some weird and unpleasant experiences. As a child, any kids in the audience, if you're a kid hitchhiking, it is a cinch. Everybody will pick up a kid with his thumb out on the side of an interstate. So, just keep that in mind. And so we would invariably get to the bus station on the other side of the state before the bus. Yes. Anyway. Thank you. Hi.
I was just wondering, at the beginning of season 4, when Pascal Dean had left the handprint on his shoulder.
Where did that go?
No, I was
Cosmetic surgery.
I was
Dean.
actually wondering if they actually modeled it after your handprint.
Oh, I love all the perving. Did they tell us about that experience in the makeup trailer for Wrestling Jensen's shoulder for hours? Yes, we did. We did do. They used my real hand, and Jensen kept me. Can you just do a little lower? A little lower. If Jensen had had his way, and unfortunately the director intervened because it just didn't make sense for the storyline, but it would have been just the fingerprints of two fingers pinching his nipple. They ended up settling on the hand on the shoulder. Thank you for that very probing question. Carry on my wayward son. Damn! That was my answer.
It really... Oh, hey, it's on now.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, we can't hear you. What do you say? Can you get out to talking to the microphone? We can't hear a word that you're saying. Sorry, guys. Don't stand up threateningly. One person gets up like... Let's go right now. I do like Carry On My Wayward Son. I'm sorry to say. No, but I will tell you this. It's something that they debate at the end because they haven't used it at the end of every season. I don't think. I don't think they have. See, my nerdy friends just corroborated my. But they do debate it. They debate it at the end of the season when they're doing the last episode. So, here, toss something in weird to the next. Don't do. Carry on. And everybody's like, nah. Let's do Carry On. Yeah, it's such a great anchor for the show, that song. It's kind of cool, and I love that they only use it once a year. Wow, why can't they use the song? I don't know. I've never seen the show. What? Oh, that was great. That was really cool. You know, the theme song from The Greatest American Hero. That was great. That was a stroke of genius. That was originally something else, and they changed it in the script at the last minute because they could actually get the rights to the song for The Greatest American Hero, but they couldn't get the rights to Highway to Hell. That's right. Did I already talk about this? It was tweeted. Yeah. What's it like to have a good memory? That sounds nice. So yes, I first learned the lyrics to Highway to Hell, and then I did the the Greatest American Hero, which, by the way, when I was a kid, I don't know if anyone watched Greatest American Hero. When I was a kid, that was like, if I happened to catch Greatest American Hero on TV, it was, I couldn't believe my luck. It was such a great show. That should still be running 30 years later. Hi.
Hi. You and I are about the same age, and we have kids that are around the same age.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really young. I'm only 25 in my head. So,
I'm a little older in my head. I think I'm like 28.
no, I just turned 25 in my head. So.
Okay.
But I'm a single mom, and I'm wondering from a dad's perspective if you have any advice or wisdom that you could share in raising your kids.
That's right, I am a dad.
When I'm not with
single mom. How old are your kids?
I just have one daughter. She's 6.
She's 6. And how long have you been a single mom, might I ask?
For about 4 years. Every day is an adventure, so I'm always, looking to get ideas.
What?
No, don't take her to Sebastian.
Don't take her to Sebastian's family. You will not be single anymore, but you will be a mom again.
I'm not sure that would be a bad thing.
How do you do it? Oh my God. I have such an appreciation for single parenthood now. Because it's really a challenge. It's a challenge with 2 parents who can afford a babysitter. It's really amazingly difficult to raise kids, and I can't believe it. I'm astonished. And my hat's off to you that you are here at a convention neglecting your child.
And the best part is, when I left home, she was like, Mommy, I know you're going to that supernatural thing. Do you think they'd have anything there that I would like? I'm like, I don't think so.
No, honey. Yeah, I have a totally new appreciation for my mother. My mother was a single mom raising 2 kids from a young age, and it is really amazing to me the amount of difficulty that brings with it. So hats off to you. I don't really have any advice on parenting, but speaking of single moms, I had this guy. I had a lot of paper routes when I was a kid. I was a very industrious paper deliverer. And one of the guys that I delivered to had this big house, and he owned a radio station in town. And one day he came out to pay us on a Saturday morning, and my little brother was with me, and he started asking us some questions. Found out that our dad was not living with us, and invited us in. And it was cool. This older guy invited 2 kids into his house. And so we went in, and we then formed this relationship with this guy, Mr. Higas, who was almost 70 at the time. And he was like a surrogate dad to us in town, and he taught us how to solder things, and taught us some Chinese, and how to, whittle wood and things like that, and would take us out to lunch at a restaurant that we would never have been able to afford otherwise. And it was for us as kids, it was so exciting to have that influence of this man in our life, who was just doing it because he had a bunch of kids, and he had taken a bunch of kids who were actually orphans under his wing way back in the 60s, and this was sort of like reviving that for him 20 years later. But I don't know, find people like that can be a part of your kid's life, because that was so valuable to me and my brother as little kids. And there are really nice people out there who do stuff like that who are not child molesters. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, in your opinion, in the event that Team Free Will wins the war for heaven, do you think that Pascal will get his grace back?
Interesting question. My opinion does count for a lot on this point, because I've read a lot of scripts that you haven't. But certainly I'll tell you that at the end of this, it's a problem. It's dwindling. The batteries are dying. Did someone just plot for finally! That falls under the category of inappropriate applause. Simply because I'm so close to you. And I have a hard object in my hand.